There is no doubt the oil spill in the Gulf is a real tragedy. Beyond the environmental impact, the spill will make an impact on business in general. Joining us this morning to talk more about that is certified financial planner Rosso, and he's going to explain how the spill could affect your life even if you aren't in the oil business. And I think that's something a lot of people may not have even thought about. So we need to look at ourselves during all of this.
Well, absolutely. You know, we are so interconnected economically. So whatever affects one state affects another. The Gulf is a big part of employment. You know, it employs roughly 200,000 people. So what you have to do is realize that, you know, you have to take a look at your own situation, and what about if a disaster, God forbid, hit your household? You know, so your greatest investment is you and yourself. Oh, people wonder about the stock market during these times and other things, but you have to look at your own earning capacity and your own potential, and how economically sensitive is your job right now.
So once you look at that and you realize that information, what do you do with it?
Well, if you are, say, for example, a nurse, you're not as economically sensitive as someone that may work in the service industry, for example. See, it's a really good time to buffer up your emergency savings overall, 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses, you know, kept aside. I'm not saying it's easy, Melissa, but it's really a good time for you to start to build on that, because eventually down the road, you might see gas prices start to increase. We haven't seen it yet. Ironically, gas prices in Houston are at the same price they were in June of last year. Part of that is the overwhelming softness in some of the global economic numbers. We're starting to see indicators in China, here, in the Eurozone, start to get a little bit soft. So right now, the global picture is sort of taking away from that, so gas prices have remained tempered here.
So if we're going to save that kind of money to help us out in case we needed that money for 6 months, we need to look at debt, and we're going to have to control that. So where do you even begin when you're in debt?
Well, the first part is, and this can be as simple as notebook and pencil, is a budget. Where's your money going right now? You might be surprised.
It is surprising. I did that recently, and I couldn't believe it goes everywhere. And if you do take control, it is shocking how you can really keep better management of it.
Yeah, and you don't have to, you know, don't enjoy your life. Don't be drastic, but maybe there are some areas you need to cut back on and start bolstering up into money markets or CDs or savings accounts, just in case gas prices do go up, or maybe seafood prices go up, because anytime those costs go up, it acts like an additional tax on your household. So why not prepare now, just in case those issues are coming up down the road?
All kinds of debt management companies out there, and I know you have to be careful because not all of them are going to help you out. They could end up hurting you. So where do you start? Do you need to do it on your own? Do you need to get a financial planner?
First step most likely is really simple. You do it on your own. You can pick up, if you use a computer program like Quicken, you can track all your expenses. There are so many different ways. There's a site called mint.com. Really great online budgeting. Heck, there's a book called Dome Budgeting Book. It's one of the cheapest books out there. It's been out there for 60 years. Keep up your budget by hand. Then, from there, go sit with, you know, an advisor or just an objective third party that can help you really assess that. You may not need to go the step of the debt management company yet. And you have to do a lot of homework, to your point, to pick the right one, make sure you're getting a legitimate service.
And I think it's a point, anytime you're dealing with money, is you just have to be honest with yourself. And that's so difficult for us to do sometimes, and to really take a look at it.
Well, you know when we get real honest? When economic activity starts to slow down and we see disasters like we're seeing in the Gulf, we tend to wake up a little bit more. Unfortunately, it's more like cold water in the face, just like what we had happen in 2008. People really started to reassess their lives. When times are good, we don't really sort of do that. When times get bad, we sort of step back. It's not easy, but we tend to do that more during rougher times.
I think the summertime is harder for people to save money too, because maybe their children are out of school and they want to go take trips. But right now, can we take advantage of the situation in Gulf and turn something terrible into good, because there's some good deals out
there are. And you know, a lot of the beaches are not affected. If you go to orbitz.com/oil, they have an open beach guarantee right now. So if you want to look for a trip on the Gulf Coast of Florida, they have a guarantee. You want to read all the details, that if for some reason you're directly affected by the spill, you could get reimbursed back. Florida wants you, Galveston wants you, the beaches are fine. So, you know, you might be able to get some really good deals right now. So have some fun and really do your homework, especially if you take a look at Orbitz.
And so if let's say that you decide whatever your vacation's going to be and you're really tightening your budget, can you still take some mini trips and spend a little bit of money, just so that, as you said, you don't get drastic and you still are able to enjoy life a little bit?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you know, and especially a beach trip, you know, you're hanging out on the beach, not a lot of money that you're going to spend. So even on a trip, you can find a way to do it very cost effectively right now, especially in the Gulf Coast states. They want you. They need the business. They're willing to bend over backwards. You most likely, if you do your homework, can get a good deal.
We need to take advantage of it. Rich Rosso, thanks for coming in and talking to us this morning. Hopefully we'll get our money all in line. Thanks for your time. Natalie?